Hey everybody, it's Chuck Barone here. Thursday, July the 6th, and welcome to the show. What a wild and crazy day we had today. I don't know if you guys have been watching these markets or anything, but it's been a year of weird since we started this show, with today maybe being the weirdest day of all. It's just crazy times, man. Anyway, as always, before we get rolling, let me welcome everybody to the show. Thank you guys for your support. You guys watching these videos every day, your comments and questions and everything you do keeps us rolling here. We appreciate you guys. All right, so let's look at these markets. Today is a day I'll call ADP madness, right? ADP Jobs report comes out, which we will talk about in depth in just a minute here, okay? ADP Jobs report comes out. Now, the interesting thing was 2 minutes before that came the unemployment numbers, which were right in line, actually a little worse than they anticipated. Followed a couple minutes later by this ADP report, and the market just went batshit crazy. Literally, rates went parabolic. Everybody freaked out. The talking, I mean, I was watching Bloomberg at 5:30 this morning to show you the obsessive kind of freako I can be sometimes. And the market talk just changed like that. The market itself changed like that. Everything just changed on this one stupid report. Now, guys, you know as well as I do, an ADP report leaves a little to be desired. They haven't exactly been the most accurate. So the market's reaction to this hysteria was astonishing to me. So, markets today. Dow down 366 points, rallying a little bit in the day to recover from even worse numbers, finishing the day 33,922. The S&P broader market down 35 points. 4,411 on the S&P index, and the NASDAQ, the most volatile of the three, down 112 points, 13,679 on the NASDAQ. So the market's just right in the crap. We're actually rallying a little bit toward the end of the day when people realize this hysteria might be just a little overblown, right? So, geesh, crappy numbers on the stock market today. Bonds, same thing. Bonds selling off crazy. Yields pop, especially on the 10-year. The 10-year jumps 10 basis points, 4.04% on the 10-year. The 2-year jumps, not a big jump, 4.98. Jumping up just 4 basis points to 4.98%. Actually was above 5% for most of the day, rallying a little bit toward the end of the day, but you know, they were talking overnight rates at 6, 2-year rates at 5, 10-year at 4. Bananas, man. Crazy times. Dollar, not much in the dollar today, down very small, sitting at 103.15 on the index, basically no change. With all this news today, people running scared, even gold and silver selling off a little bit, gold dropping $4.70, sitting at $1,910.40 for an ounce of gold. Silver down 43 cents per ounce, $22.68 for an ounce of silver. I don't know why an ADP jobs report would make gold and silver sell, but it did, because the dollar was down today. You would think that, you know, might have been a better day for gold and silver, but everything today. Oil was up very small. Actually, one of the good news for the day, up a whopping 6 cents per barrel. West Texas Intermediate sitting at $71.85 per barrel, right where we expected to be in that trough between 70 and 75. We've been talking about this every day on the show, for, you know, you guys know, so you know that this is a nothing event. Bitcoin today also down small, down $176, 30,285 for Bitcoin. Bitcoin certainly holding its own. All right, so let's talk about this ADP today. So I'm sitting there watching Bloomberg at 5:30 a.m. because that's when the unemployment report was going to be released. Honestly, I did not even know ADP was due today. I don't really pay much attention to the report because they're always a little bit off, right? So the unemployment numbers come in. Okay, now they're expecting 265,000. They get 269,000. Okay, great. This is this is basically market neutral, where the numbers are in line with expectations. Shouldn't jolt the market up or down, right? And I'm like, good, because I got some people that want to buy houses that would like to get a decent rate. So my own personal interest involved here. Well, not even 2 minutes later comes this ADP report. Now, as we know, ADP, not exactly the most accurate, but the report was so shockingly jarring. ADP says in the US, in June, we created 497,000 private sector jobs. That is an astonishing number. They were expecting 205,000. Now the real number will come tomorrow when the government releases their non-farm payrolls report. So it's going to be just, I guess I got another day tomorrow where I'm up at 5:30. Now ADP, as we know, not the most accurate. Okay, their reports are not typically spot on. Everybody understands that. But what got everybody's attention today is that for the past year or so, ADP's reports have been off, but they've been off to the downside. Okay, they've actually been predicting under the actual jobs created. The non-farm payrolls have beaten the ADP report pretty handily most of these last year or so. So that is what got everybody's attention. If ADP's been coming in low, and they're guessing basically 500,000 new jobs in June, what could the real number be? Even if it's close to 500,000, it's bad news for everybody, except the people getting those jobs, I guess, right? So, I gotta tell you guys, I seriously doubt that we created 500,000 jobs in June. It's usually a decent hiring month, summer months, kids getting hired out of school. But I just think that this is just a huge miss here. And the market reaction to it was just a mind blower to me. It was instantaneous. Literally, the bond markets were kind of, and then boom, parabolic, straight up. The market commentators, those two knuckleheads in the morning on Bloomberg, were freaking out. The British guy, because he calculates everything out to Britain, instantly went from, will the Fed actually raise the overnight rate to 6%? They were talking, like I was saying, overnight rates at 6, 2-year over 5, 10-year over 4. A lot of speculation on whether the Fed would actually bring it up to 6% overnight. Right now, the market's factoring in roughly maybe to 5.5, 5 points. It'll be 5.6. They're sitting at 5.1 right now. We basically, in the market now, factoring that in completely, more than 92% probability we'll get a Fed rate hike of a 1/4 point this month in July, at the end of the month at their meeting. They will not meet again until September. Now the market's starting to bet that we'll get another bump in September. That'll only bring us to 5.6, guys. So we're going to need, in October, November, and December, I don't even know if the Fed meets all 3 of those months, we're going to need 2 more rate increases to get to 6% by the end of the year. I got to say, I doubt that's going to happen too. So this report just completely sending shockwaves through the market, freaking everybody out. You can see, all the headlines today, strong jobs report. It's not a jobs report. We're going to get that tomorrow. So I can't wait now to see where that comes in tomorrow. Is it going to come in more in line with what the government expected? 200,000, 220,000, somewhere in that ballpark? Is ADP even remotely accurate? Will it come in over 300, over 400, over 500? This is a gigantic difference. When one side's saying 200, one side's saying 500, wow, somebody made a giant boo-boo. So I got to say, though, if this ADP report is anywhere near correct, then all bets are off on this 6% thing, because it would really show the Fed that this job market is out of their control. It would, as you know, we've been talking about a million times on this show, the Fed believes employment is the main driver of inflation right now with the wage gains everybody's been getting. We know they want to slow this employment down. It's been written about, it's been talked about, it's been everywhere about, okay? So if this is anywhere close to what actually happens, the Fed's way, way, way off on its mission, and you can figure probably, who knows where it ends, guys. And I've been telling you guys, there's always going to be these surprises that come up. They're going to change things around. Now, I never certainly expected a surprise like this. I thought inflation numbers would come in worse. Core inflation comes in bad. We get an oil spike, which raises top-line inflation and freaks everybody out. I never expected a robust economy and amazing job creation to be the big problem. But I guess in an inflationary environment, it is. And I cannot wait to see the jobs number tomorrow. So the unemployment report came in 269 versus 265 expected. ADP comes in 497. Rates jumping. The 2-year hits a 16-year high. Oh, boy. This is... I hope the Fed knows what they're doing, because it looks like they're losing control of the pony here, guys. Crazy times, man. Crazy, 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 crazy. Before I go today, though, that's all we really got for the day. But I do want to do a little bit of a rant on this Biden student loan plan. I know a lot of my younger viewers are going to get mad at me about it, because you guys know I've been against this pretty vocally from the beginning. I feel like if the government is going to spend $400 billion, they should cut that money up between everybody. Right? Everybody should get an equal share. Isn't that what all this equality and equity crap is about? But no, we're going to target these poor people who signed these deals of their own free will and accord, agreed to make these payments of their own free will and accord, knew exactly what they were getting into, agree to do it. Now they don't want to pay. And the only people, I got to tell you right now, man, the only people that support this student loan thing are A, people with student loans, B, people who are paying the student loans for those students if the students are not. But what about the people like me? Both of my kids graduated from college. We fought, man. My wife and I struggled, paid their way through, and it was not Harvard, but nonetheless, we wanted our kids to graduate with no debt, and we managed to do that. So what about a guy like me? You're going to give out $400 billion to people who don't pay their bills and give the finger to people who do? Is that good policy? Let me give you guys some interesting statistics here that really torqued my ass this morning. So every month that these students do not pay their student loans costs the United States Treasury $5 billion. So this program already $5 billion. Holy crap, that's a big number. Shocking with this 500 ADP thing today. $5 billion a month. The Treasury is losing for these students who aren't making their payments. Now, they've had student loan relief in place for 40 months. Way longer than they should have, way longer than the pandemic, way longer than it took for the economy to recover. These people don't want to make the payments. They have their sympathizers in the Congress. So that right there adds up to $200 billion. It's already cost us, the U.S. taxpayer, the U.S. Treasury, to provide relief so these people don't have to make payments for 40 months. Now here's the interesting thing, and this is what really chapped my ass. Do these bright young college students take that windfall? Because now they're making the same amount of money, but they don't have to pay out as much, right? Did they take that money and pay down all their existing debt? No. Did they save the money for a rainy day? Or maybe to pay some cash for some of their student stuff? No. Did they buy investments? No. What do? They piss the money away. And in addition to spending every penny of the savings on their deferred payments, the average student who got payment relief through this program, average student, added $1,500 in new debt. So not only were they spending every nickel they were saving, they were adding new debt on top of it. More proof that this is just a horrible idea. This Supreme Court, I got to admit, has made some controversial decisions, but blowing up this student loan thing was not one of them. Anyway, guys, that's it for the day. We'll be back tomorrow to wrap up this crazy, crazy-ass week. We'll have the jobs numbers tomorrow. That's going to be the news. You guys will probably hear about it before the show, but we'll be here to give you the details you might have missed. Till tomorrow then, guys. Take care. Thanks.